do our intro.
Oh, yeah. Hello, and welcome to Wands and Fronds, the weekly podcast where we cover magic, herbalism, and more. I'm Nick.
And I'm Shannon.
And we're your co-hosts. And so, if you couldn't tell, we're actually together today. Isn't that on Shannon's patio? We're doing an actual Patio Ladies episode on a patio.
Yeah.
I think it might be important here to just pan a little bit. Do you see that we're on a patio?
We're on an IRL patio.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun. So for those of you, I guess, who are just listening to the audio, because we're releasing this as like a regular episode, members of our Patreon get to listen to a few bonus episodes. And one of the things that Nick and I like to do is our Patio Ladies episodes, which are the Wands and Fronds lifestyle.
Yeah,
brand.
it's our lifestyle brand. So I mean, think like if Wands and Fronds was gonna start a goop.
Yeah, it's a way for you to get a peek behind the curtain to the fabulous personalities.
Oh yeah,
that make up Wands and Fronds. So obviously we're in sunny Los Angeles, but Nick, you've been on vacation.
Mm-hmm,
we're coming to the bitter end of your vacation. But how have you been feeling the magic?
Oh my gosh. Well, I will say first and foremost on this trip, being by the ocean has been top tier magical quality time.
Oh yeah, we all know Nick is a sea witch.
I did when I was in Mexico get to go and it was so nice because it was the rainy season, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't really rain. But there was one day where it rained, and I got to go to the kind of jungly beach in the rain, and that was incredible.
Beach, jungle, rainy times. I
Beach,
love
jungle,
that.
rainy times.
Yeah, I feel like this is a magical season for me. So, like we've talked about it, I have a fat old Leo stellium. I'm a Virgo, but I love Leo season, and Leo season is coming to an end, which means Virgo season is coming up. My birthday is next week. But I think my most magical moment this week, I'm like, can I say it's when we went to the 99-cent only store and Halloween stuff was out?
Oh yeah, that was a top tier one as well. Well, because I mean the thing with that though is like you have such a witchy house that like the Halloween decor really is just decor for you.
Yeah, it's like once a year I get this opportunity to go through and buy all of the stuff that will just like keep up year round. So we got these like super cutesy little like witchy garden prints. We got a really pretty like spooky scary skeleton lace table runner that I am so stoked about, and I got a raven for my front porch to not only add a little bit of that aesthetic but also to fucking scare away the squirrels. I hate squirrels.
Oh, also the mushroom that just says spooky.
Oh yeah, I got a garden mushroom that just says spooky and one that says spells. So, we're really like set because we had gone to the 99-cent only store because I was like, oh, we just did this episode on gnomes. Like the 99-cent store has like great gnomes, and they still had great gnomes. They gave great gnomes, but then we walked in and the Halloween aisle was out.
But I will say they didn't have the Halloween gnomes out yet.
They did not.
They still had like the summery flower gnomes.
Yeah. And I do have 2 like zombie gnomes that I got from the 99-cent store last year. But Lowe's has also put out all of their Halloween stuff, which is always very like Nightmare Before Christmas forward, which I'm like not mad about it, but Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas film. Not
also,
a Halloween film.
Shout out to the 12-foot tall Home Depot skeleton, though.
Every year. An icon.
Truly my favorite Halloween character.
Yeah. So I guess for Patio Ladies, one of the things we normally do is kind of like talk about some of our personal magic-y stuff that's been going on. Nick, can you talk about this cool spell you've been doing, your crystal spell on your trip?
Oh, so I have, and I actually have a couple on me, actually. So I'm just going to dig in my pocket a little bit. So I've got my little pocket stones that I carry. This one actually came from a House of Intuition candle. We actually did go to House of Intuition while I was here, and I loved every second of it and bought a few crystals. But so I had a lot of like little stops. So I stopped in LA. So I've been kind of breadcrumbing my little crystals, and I left my little hummingbird egg here. And I left one at home. and then I'm kind of gathering them up on my way back through.
Yeah, I love it. It's like you're Hansel and Greteling yourself, but with crystals.
But with crystals,
And
yeah.
of course, like because the hummingbird crystal was here during the Aquarius full moon, she got some time. She got charged with all of my crystals.
Oh yeah.
So it's good. I mean, I love it. I think it's such a good it's like you're letting them kind of soak up the energy.
Yeah. So it's like they got to go on a little vacation too. But then also I think it's going to be fun because I did get some new stones, some new pocket. I love whatever that opal, it's like an opal something.
Yeah, I forget the name of it.
But it's not an opal, it's like a crystal that has opalescence.
Yeah, it looks almost like if moonstones were more clear.
Yes. And it's very pretty.
It's beautiful.
But so it's going to be so fun in going through TSA though, because I'm going to have like a pocket full of like peso coins
and rocks.
And rocks.
I mean, yeah, that's like post vacation witch vibes.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, the magic stuff that I've just been feeling is kind of like reeling in all of that manifestation and prosperity work with hey guys, there's not been an update. I got the job.
Oh yeah.
That we talked about the week before last. So I got a new job. It is an excellent raise. I start on the 29th. So my last day at my current job is the day before my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I'm actually taking my birthday off, which I can't remember the last time I had my birthday off because it's a busy season.
Right.
So it's fun. I mean, I'm getting really excited. I've got good plans for decorating my office. It's always like, for me, I really enjoy like trying to find good like witchy office decor that's not like a pentagram, especially because I'm going to be at like a school with small children. So I'm really like I'm starting a wish list of all of my planning stuff that's like cute crystals, cool like vintage prints that I can put up to like really give my space witch vibes without being like, hi, I'm obsessed with Salem. You know, I think there's like a fine line in the professional workplace, mostly because it's like my business. But I also do love to be surrounded by witchy shit. So that's been fun. Also, just in time for Nick to be here, I finally have peduncles on one of my Hoyas. You guys can see it's like putting off flowers finally. There's like two little places where it's going to be flowering. And this is my Hoya multiflora, which is the falling star Hoya. And they have like these beautiful like five petal leaves that actually look like real falling stars. I cannot wait. So that has been going on. And like my Hoyas are also just going crazy, which I guess we can pan and show my Hoyas. So anyone who's ever seen a Hoya carnosa compacta knows they grow super slow. Here's some of my vines from him. And my Hoya publicalyx has managed to climb all the way up to the top to hang with my Hoya carnosa. You guys can like see this vine going all the way up. And then my Hoya crimson queen is right here. So yeah, so that's my like, I guess, back porch plant update.
But also there's so many good plants in LA. Like I think
there are.
I mean, just, you know, being from Texas, it's like palm trees.
Yeah.
I've seen so many palm trees on this trip.
So many. And so many different types of palm tree.
Yeah.
It's like we do have like the typical ugly, tall, skinny ones that I don't love. But we also have like other cooler ones that are some like stocky boys that have different styles of fronds. So it's like palms are more diverse than I typically give them credit for.
But it's such a California vibe. Just palm trees everywhere.
Palm trees all over the damn place. Also birds of paradise. And somehow like we still have birds of paradise that are flowering even though it's August.
It's fully August.
It's fully August. You did get to experience eating in my garden like the first night you were here.
Mm-hmm. That's true. A little al fresco dining.
Yeah. Also all of the lemon balm.
Oh yes.
My lemon balm is nuts. So it's been fun. I think having you in my plant space has been a good time.
Oh well, and it's like the house has lots of nice plants too. It's like
yeah.
Anyone who's on the Patreon though, I mean, you've done a plant tour on Patio Ladies before.
Yeah, I did a plant tour. My front yard I think is a little harder to get, which we didn't, but I've definitely done a plant tour of my house plants. So I have like actual house plants, and then of course I have a back porch that's full of like Hoyas and begonias and stuff because we're in Los Angeles and we're obnoxious, so we grow house plants outside year round like assholes.
Yeah, there's a lot of like fiddle leaf.
Yeah, fiddle leaf figs everywhere.
Yeah.
People are obsessed with them. Also, like Ficus elastica, like outside, we have like actual Ficus elastica trees, um, even though they're like houseplants all over
You
the
know
place.
what? You know what I saw in Mexico that I thought was actually kind of cool? They had these snake plants,
Ooh, okay.
but they were doing so good that they were like as tall as a fence,
Yeah,
like a low fence.
I
And I
love
was like,
that.
I've never seen snake plants just doing so well.
Yeah, they're thriving,
But
30,
also,
flirty, and thriving.
the rainforest is gorgeous. I mean,
Yeah.
as someone who's like plant witch adjacent, even though I've recently been on a streak where I've been killing all of my plants.
Yeah, it's just the season in Texas.
As a plant appreciator, that jungle vibe was
Oh, yeah.
everything to me.
What was your favorite thing you saw in the jungly areas?
Okay, not even the plants though, like wild parrots, like that's so crazy to me that there's just like green and blue birds that are like
What an ornithological trip you've had, because
Yeah.
you were also obsessing over the hummingbirds this morning.
yeah. Well, and then I was looking for a crocodile while I was there.
Oh, that would be fun.
Okay, so there were the week before I went to Mexico, there was a sighting of a saltwater crocodile on one of the beaches. And so I was like, okay, well that's what I'm going to do in my free time because I'm just going to be
Yeah.
wandering up and down the beach brooding.
When near places of possible crocodile, you gotta look for the crocodile.
So, I went to some spots. I saw a lot of seabirds,
There are a lot of seabirds.
a lot of pelicans.
Pelicans are cool. I hate seagulls because they're sky rats.
Actually, weirdly enough, not a lot of seagulls I see in Puerto Vallarta.
It's because they're all here,
Yeah.
torturing us in Southern California.
But a lot of pelicans. And pelicans, no fear.
No. That's the thing. Seabirds are bold.
They're yeah.
Big Aryan energy there.
It's almost like they don't give a shit. And
It's almost just like that.
I appreciate that vibe.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I think it's been so nice to have you like in my space. We did get a new book that you got to check out that I've been enjoying. It's The Crooked Path. So it's like I got a new book on traditional witchcraft as a birthday gift to myself. Of course, because I got like a $5 Barnes and Noble gift card for my birth month, and then my very religious grandparents sent me money. So I bought myself a witch book.
Of course.
And it's really good. I really enjoy that one.
I did bring Sea Magic with me, and I was perusing it as a beach read, which was great.
That sounds perfect. Also, I'm sure that book is going to treat you so much better now that it's been charged in the sea
Yeah, now that it's
energy.
literally been to the beach.
Yeah, I love that.
Although I will say, like, one thing that I was a bit let down by was the lack of seashells.
Yeah, sorry, you guys can hear, I'm sure, the LAPD helicopter at the distance. We're recording like actually outdoors as a reminder for those of you who can't see us. Yeah, seashells. Not a lot of seashells.
And so what I was wondering is like maybe they just have like a really good system there where they're like combing the beach for seashells because all the little shops had seashells.
Yeah. I mean, or the beach is just picked over from tourists.
I mean, that's fair.
Because you're
That's
coming
fair.
off of tourist season.
Right.
Yeah. We did see, I have a neighbor that has something that I'm like is a great gift idea for Nick. The seashell wreath.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, one of her neighbors here who has a beautiful hydrangea.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like basketball sized.
Oh yeah,
Like
well, and it's
flower
like, and it's
heads.
got like the one big flower head that's like one color, and then the others are like the pink and lime mottled
Yeah.
color. And
This woman has, she gives great gardens. She also grows dahlias. She has huge, tall dahlias. Like, this woman is goals. And her
really
big,
though, really though.
flourishing porch orchids.
Yeah, just out on the porch, like just chilling. I mean,
Just vines of huge orchid
Just
flowers.
big ass orchids. Like, if you were to buy those orchids at Whole Foods,
They would cost you like $80.
they absolutely would cost you $80. Because
Yeah.
the little ones are like 15 now, like the mini ones.
I know.
Because they used to be 9. They
Yeah.
used to be 9.
Inflation's hitting us all, baby. Yeah, I because like I can grow a lot of things. I have only killed one orchid, but it scared me.
I mean, it's just they're so pretty.
They're so pretty, and I hate killing plants. Like, it
What is
happens, but
the catnip flowers
oh,
that look like tiny orchids.
the catnip flowers are beautiful. If you haven't looked at catnip flowers, highly recommend. But yeah, I think catnip flowers do have that vibe, but they're so small. It's like a bunch of tiny, tiny little orchids everywhere.
Yeah, but they're so tiny. Yeah, like a magnifying glass might be required. I, for one, have incredible vision.
I know. It's one of the great challenges of your life.
Yeah.
To have perfect vision, so you can't rock the horn rim glasses.
I wonder what's going on over there.
That's the house with all the children. They're coming for us. But yeah, so the trip I think has been really fun. I'm sad that it's coming to an end.
Yes, I am also quite sad because I feel like this week has just flown by.
Yeah, it's been so fast. I'm like, how is it Wednesday? You just got here.
I just got here and it's Wednesday.
I mean, we have had a great time. So we did the beach.
We did the beach.
None of us got sunburned. Zinc oxide sunscreen.
Done some LA shit.
Yeah, we went and saw a like midday Monday showing of Marcel the Shell with shoes on and cried in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
As is necessary. Tonight we're going to see Bullet Train, which is going to be ridiculous and so much fun.
I mean, and I will just say, I am not watching that movie because Brad Pitt is in it. I am watching that movie because it is Bad Bunny's cinematic debut.
Cinematic debut.
And my God, is he hot.
He's, yeah, quite the looker.
I mean, not to be completely crass, but he did do an Instagram story where he's wearing like running shorts.
Okay.
And you could see the whole
the whole situation.
The whole situation.
The downstairs mix up.
And
a nice view.
Yeah.
Cool. So go follow Bad Bunny on Instagram if you want to get your rocks off, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like Instagram, like my Instagram must be so confused because it's like witchy shit, recipes, and thirst traps.
Yeah, I mean, witchy shit, recipes, and himbos go together, obviously.
Yeah, it's really quite a trifecta.
My Instagram is weird because it's like a lot of witchy shit, some herbalist shit, and then like I get random animal stuff now. Like I get so many animal videos.
Oh yeah, because you watched like a video of a kitten one time.
Yeah, and now all I see are animals being silly, and my husband and I just send videos back and forth, and we're like, oh my God, this is Willow. Oh my God, this is Hexus, which has become our love language. Oh, you did get to see Hex.
Oh, Hex is big.
He's big now.
He's big.
He's all like full grown, chillin'. I think he's really coming to his own. He's got great potential as a familiar.
I think Hex is one of the most beautiful cats I've ever seen.
Oh, the baby.
Like truly just like visually striking. And like that super dark smoky tabby thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, in certain lighting, Hexus looks like a proper black cat. Yeah. Like my cat Faye.
You'd never know in certain lighting.
Which actually, when she does get in the sun though, she's got the two shades of black stripes.
Cute.
So you can see like one, like she's got red black and black stripes.
And I'm sure she tans it too, because you know black cats will tan themselves to a rust color.
Yeah.
They're addicted to the sun.
I wonder if it will come through on the camera, but
we'll find out, won't we?
My roommate just sent me a picture of the cats. Oh no, I guess my phone died.
Oh.
I thought I was getting a text message.
I feel like that's been a theme.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to get an upgrade before. I mean, I've been eligible for an upgrade for like 2 months, and I was like, should I get a new phone for the trip?
Yeah, no, I think you made the right call, because God forbid something had happened at the beach or something with your brand new phone.
Well, because that's what I was thinking, and I was like, you know, like my vacation photos are going to be kind of jank, because for some reason my phone camera like deep fries every image.
Well, you know, it's really just trying to go for that MySpace aesthetic.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to get the upgrade soon after I get back. And then that way, if I did drop my phone in the ocean,
then it doesn't fucking matter.
Whatever, I just won't have a phone for a couple weeks. No big deal.
God, I wish. I'm due an upgrade at some point, but I'm like I'm obsessed with my phone case. I don't know if people have seen my phone case. It's a bat. Um, and I love it when all of my like old donors at work are like, "Oh, that's an interesting phone case. Can I see it?" And I'm like, "Very goth bat." Um, because I am who I am.
Thank you, Kesha.
You're welcome.
We are who we are, but with the letter R.
Oh, well, yeah. I obviously spell Shannon with a dollar sign. Um, Kesha is everything. We did get to also, Eric and I got to share one of our favorite trash TV shows with Nick last night.
Oh.
Paranormal, caught on camera. Um, the live garden gnome video with this like super bro looking dude in Arizona, where it's like when they did the talking head of him introducing this video he's captured of like a tiny humanoid creature walking through his garden. And we're like, oh my god, this bro with his backwards snapback, like in Arizona. And then it like cuts to this like beautiful garden with decor and sunflowers, and it's his garden. That was a moment.
Although, speaking of paranormal activity, I would like to talk about the experience that I had yesterday morning.
Oh.
Wherein, okay, so we all know that Park La Brea is a hotspot for fae activities, right?
Yes.
So I walked to the store yesterday morning to pick up some essentials. Because there is a store right outside of where we are currently at. And you have to walk through a roundabout that's a park in the middle.
Yeah.
To get to the front. And then you have to walk back through the same roundabout on the way back. Straight across.
It's straight across.
It's straight across.
You don't even have to turn because it's like our street like connects all the way through the complex.
It is the one that leads out to the main road.
Yeah.
So I walked to the store and I walked straight back and somehow ended up back at the front without ever turning.
Hi, the fae live here. I mean, it's like we have such tricksy little fae around, and I think one of my theories is places with a lot of hummingbirds have a lot of fae.
Oh yeah,
because
it's easy disguise.
Yeah, and it also feels like everywhere I've been that has a lot of hummingbirds has that vibe. And they're everywhere. They're like everywhere out here. And I've definitely seen like little fae sprites. And I know that we have like a house spirit that I've like interacted with that lives here, and I get like big fae energy from her. Like she never comes into my room.
This is like a development, but it's damn near a 70-year-old development.
Yeah, it was built in the 40s.
So for sure more than 70 years though.
Yeah, it's 80 plus years old now.
Yeah.
And these houses are like the houses. I mean, they've been like upgraded and stuff, but these are the buildings as they were built like in the 40s, so it's like very old energy, which is why I was genuinely surprised that this place doesn't feel haunted. But I think there's just so much like elemental magical energy that I don't know that.
And also, I mean, just to be perfectly clear, we are very close to the La Brea tar pits.
We are also very close to the La Brea tar pits, which have really wild energy.
Oh yeah.
Like if you've ever been to a tar pit, there is something about it that is like deeply haunting. I'm like, Hecate hangs out in tar pit areas.
I mean, here's the thing. It's the closest you can come to like a quicksand kind of a situation.
Yeah, and is there any space more liminal than a fucking tar pit?
Yeah, really. It's like a black hole in the ground.
A black hole in the ground that has like literal like woolly mammoth and saber-toothed tiger fossils. Like we just found when they were doing construction on the new museum, they just found more saber-toothed tiger fossils and stuff. So it's like there's such old like natural energy in LA, which I know a lot of people wouldn't think, but the La Brea tar pits are full of fossils. We have so many fossils throughout this like part of the country. And we built land on top of it. So it's like those jokes.
There's dinosaurs under this house.
There are dinosaurs under this house. So it's like the city is built on top of a like prehistoric animal graveyard. So yeah, I guess that makes sense that the fae are here.
Yeah.
LA is wild sometimes. And I do.
What if the fae were just the ghosts of dinosaurs?
You know, I do love that. I do love that. There are so many fae around, and it's nice. And I have like put up little.
But I mean, isn't that crazy though? That I mean, it's such a simple walk.
Yes, there's no way that should have happened.
I mean, when I tell you that I spent a week in an old Spanish colony with winding hillside streets
And didn't get lost.
and did not get lost, but walking a straight line and then ending up
almost perfectly back at the front. Yeah.
it does not make sense.
It's classic like fae shenanigans. Like weird shit happens in here too. Like I don't know. It's like the plants do really well, which obviously I think has to do with the fae, because like LA is good for plants, but I feel like plants do exceptionally well in Park La Brea. Like
Also, I've slept so good while I'm here.
yeah, it's very peaceful. But
Which is crazy because we're in the middle of like one of the biggest cities in the continent.
the second largest city in the United States. And it's like you can sleep like a baby. We're in this like little green bubble in here. And I'm like, I don't know. I think this is part of why we love it so much. We're like someday, of course, like our dream is to run away to far northern California and buy an old haunted Victorian house. But until then, I'm like, our place can trick you
This is good.
into not it tricks you into forgetting that you're like in the middle of Los Angeles, because we're like in mid Wilshire. For anyone who knows the LA area, it's basically like halfway between downtown and the beach, so it's not like some tucked away area either.
Yeah, we're not I mean, for all of the Texas people out there, we're not in Round Rock.
No.
We're not in Pflugerville. We're downtown.
Yeah, you're like maybe West Campus at the furthest.
Yeah.
Like it's wild, but it's been nice, I think, having you here. And this is the longest you've been here.
Technically. And you know, including the day, so I did do a day on the way in.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. I did a day on the way in, because ultimately this was supposed to be a trip to Japan.
Yeah, that was the whole plan initially, and then hey, COVID blew up the world.
Well, no, it's not even that I mean, COVID had already happened when I bought the tickets, but
it just, I think,
but
has
Japan
continued.
just will not open.
No, Japan is like, you shall not pass.
Like, other countries that were following suit with them have reopened, and it's like Japan and New Zealand are just like, no one can come here.
They're like, no, we're not gonna. Why would we?
Maybe we'll just never reopen.
Yeah, so
And it'll just be like the Japan New Zealand Economic Forum.
But I won with this situation.
Oh yeah.
Because that means Nick split his vacation between Mexico and LA.
Yeah. Which was ultimately, I think, weirdly a good, like,
perfect.
It was like a perfect mix, and it's like I always want to come back to LA.
Yeah, LA's great.
And we did go to, what was it, Kazunori.
Oh my god, Kazunori. It's by the people who do the sugarfish people. For anyone that knows about sushi places, sugarfish is pretty iconic. But yeah, Kazunori hand rolls, and you can walk, and it's right next to my dentist. So now Nick has seen my dentist and my optometrist's office, which I feel like is taking our friendship to another level.
We're so intimate. But no, what I will say is that even though I didn't go to Japan,
yeah, you got a taste of Japan.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty darn close, I would say. And also, you know, I did get that that Japanese mythology book from the 80s.
Yes, with all the fox stories.
That's okay. So I didn't realize this. I bought it secondhand, and it is an 80s edition, which is very well preserved.
Yeah, it's like suspiciously well preserved.
What I think happened was that someone had bought it for a class or something.
Or they're really into foxes.
And that it maybe just sat somewhere for a very long time.
Yeah, I think that's what that's the vibe it gives off, because it is like, it definitely has been on a shelf that's shaded.
As a paperback, if it was something they were going back to multiple times,
it would have been cracking a bunch.
Yeah.
Papers would have been falling out, and it doesn't have a lot of like sun damage either.
No,
which a lot of times you do get with like vintage books.
Yeah, and it's like, you know,
it was in a shaded room on a shelf.
Yeah, so beautiful edition is what I'm saying. But also, I got this Japanese mythology book, and then someone had already like gone through and like circled certain sections and stories, and I was like, well, I don't know this person, but I'm about to get to know them a little bit, I guess,
It's
by
pretty
reading
intimate.
their selected myths.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately, I would love to like dive into that maybe as like a podcast segment.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. And I've put a bunch of like different mythology books on my birthday list to send to Eric's family too. So I think we're gonna have some like good mythology and folktale reading.
Because I think that would be like a good, just like something to cover.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about it some where it's like we're much more well versed and familiar with like Celtic and like Anglican type magical practices. So I think getting into like more of the Japanese mythology too, because we've like touched on some of it, and I know you've got more interest and like knowledge in it than I do, but I think it's always nice to kind of like get out of the Western European witchcraft tradition.
Well, and I've always liked the kitsune myth, like the way that foxes are in Japanese mythology is kind of how I've always thought about foxes, where it's just like, are they I don't see them as a pest. Like a lot of people,
Yeah,
it's like I think a raccoon is a pest
yeah,
in its way because like they dig trash out
and they hiss at you and they
and
throw things at
and they
you.
breed a lot more than you think they would.
They do. And remember we had a fox that lived in the field next to the house in Granbury.
Oh, well, I mean, I see foxes all the time.
Yeah, they're one of your animals.
I mean, you say that. No, I do see foxes everywhere. When I did that lunar eclipse spell,
Yeah.
3 foxes showed. I've already told this story.
But it's a great story.
It's a great story. But literally, when I do witchcraft, foxes show up.
So they're here for you. I'm like, I just feel like I don't have necessarily, I think, a single animal that shows up. I've seen rabbits more than you would expect in Los Angeles. In the park across the street from here, there are rabbits. But mostly, I think the Fae are just chilling.
Yeah, the rabbits are comfy.
Yeah, the rabbits are comfy because, like, I think that Fae tend to attract the cutesy woodland creatures, like, rabbits.
It's big Snow White energy.
They do have a lot of Snow White energy because there's, like, rabbits and hummingbirds are probably the biggest one. I mean, we also have a lot of crows that live in here.
Actually, this morning when we were walking the dog, I did see. Is it a murder of crows?
It is a murder.
Because they're a group?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a murder of crows. They were all foraging.
Yeah, I always say hello to them when I'm like walking Willow by myself and I see them. And I'll never stop being bitter about the fact that Eric was on the back porch one time and a crow came by and like literally cawed in a way that sounded like it was saying hello. And I was like, I fucking talk to them every time I see them. And they've never come to the back porch to say hello to me. But I guess Eric was right place, right time. So, but yeah, we have so many crows. I do love it because, again, the tar pits, like I said, they kind of have that like crossroadsy, spooky energy.
It's spooky. No, and I mean, literally, when you look at them and you see the little bubble pop up.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like, what is that? That's gas from a decomposing saber-toothed tiger. That's just like down in there somewhere.
Wild. My favorite myth is that one of Leonardo DiCaprio's Oscars was thrown in there. I don't know that it's true, but I like to believe in my heart that it is.
I mean, okay, isn't the Academy the theater where they do the Academy Awards?
It's in Hollywood, so it's not too far from here. And the Academy Museum also.
Oh, okay, that's what you were thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
They did a big after party there.
Okay. Because it really is like right across the street from the tar pits, though. Like...
It is right there. Like, you can walk so easily. Although I do have to say, my least favorite thing is like having worked over here for so long is it does sometimes make lunch precarious if you want to eat outside, because if the wind shifts right, it blows. Like the tar pit smell blows.
I remember the first time I came to LA, you had to work a half day.
Yeah.
Which was fine, like I'm fortune favors the bold.
Yeah.
And I do have a very big Jupiter placement in my big 3.
Yeah.
So I was like not worried about it, but I was like just walking around the neighborhood and it really does smell like a tire fire.
Yeah, it's intense. But you know, you do get used to it, but it makes eating outside sometimes precarious.
Only close by. I mean, like
Yeah.
really, like here,
No, this far in, you don't really get
you're
it
not smelling it.
because there's buildings, luckily too, between us and the tar pits. But they're
But if you're
spooky.
within like a block, and the wind blows the wrong way, absolutely.
You're gonna have a bad time. I would, speaking of your big like Jupiter placements, Sagittarius energy, can you talk about the luck of your fucking trips always, your travel related luck?
Okay, my travel related luck story. So I have been to the airport 4 times in 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be 6 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I will have traveled about 6,500 miles.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of miles.
I wish I was getting like reward points. All of that to say, walked right through TSA on the way in. Walked right through TSA on the way back out.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm waiting in line to go to Mexico. And of course, I take this stuff seriously. And also I'm poor, so I can't afford to miss my flight.
Yeah.
But so we're there early for my flight to Mexico.
Because they always say give extra time.
For international. So I'm waiting for my ticketing agent. And I'm just there's like, you know, the lady that corrals you into line.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're like, oh, we're, you know, whatever. And she's like, I'm like, hey, don't mean to bother you, but you know, when the line's this long, how long do you think? I just want to make sure I have time for my flight. And I'm thinking, I'm not asking to cut.
No, you're just like asking for an update.
I'm just like, how long do you think?
Yeah.
And she's like, what time's your flight? And I'm like, oh, it's like 10:30.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And you're there at like 6:30 in the morning.
I'm like, you know, it's like, you know, it's like, I tell her the time, and she's like, and you just need the ticket? Give me your stuff. And so the lady that was like corralling the line just goes back behind the counter, prints my ticket out for me, comes back with my ticket. I'm at the back of the line.
You're just fucking hand delivered.
I'm at the back of the line.
Yeah.
And then so it's like, and then I just go through the checkpoint, and then I'm at my gate like 3 hours early every time.
Yeah, which is the trade-off, but
which is the trade-off.
You got books.
And then on the way back, similar vibes. You know, part of our airport is pretty small, so I wasn't worried about that. I was not worried about that. But on the way back through customs, though,
which, mind you guys, I like planned picking Nick up from LAX based on the assumption that like everyone else that has ever come in from another country, customs would take like at least half an hour.
Yeah. So I'm getting off the plane. There's a huge line.
Because it's Friday night coming in from Mexico to LA during the summer.
And I'm kind of like, about getting in the big line. Because I'm like, is the big line for me? And then the other line, like the permanent resident line, not the citizen line, didn't have anyone in it. And he's like, I can take you. And
so Nick just breezes through customs at LA.
Breeze through customs.
Literally the only time in my life I have ever heard of this happening.
So I go, it is so ridiculous. It's literally ridiculous.
So Nick gets outside and I'm like, well, I'm going to be 45 minutes still because I assumed you would have to do customs like everyone else and like wait in that crazy line. But the luck of the centaur.
The luck of the centaur, but I will say, you know, it's witchcraft. There's always a trade-off. And both times that I have purchased the illegal drug marijuana,
which is legal here.
And technically it's legal it's decriminalized.
Yeah.
So I've had trouble getting weed, and I think that like that is the
That's your
trade-off.
trade-off. Like even here in LA,
Which, you know, like I'm not even gonna say
speaking of.
I'm not even gonna say any kind of shit about the dispensaries here in LA because I've never had that experience.
No, I think
But
it's just the brand.
I do think that's like the universe balancing itself out, though.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, breeze through the airport, but
But that vape you bought is gonna die well before the juice is done, which is a bummer.
it was. I mean, it's so frustrating to like look at it.
And you're like, there's so much here that I've already paid for, but I can't have it. Yeah, and I'm excited. So today, after Nick finishes not dying, please don't die.
We're doing Korean corn
We're
dogs.
doing Korean corn dogs, which we should post a picture on the Instagram. But yeah, I mean, I think we've been at it for about half an hour, Patio Lady. Is there anything else? Anyone on the Patreon can see, look at this golden glow.
I will say, I've gotten
Nick has
so
a
much. I've gotten
luscious tan.
so much sun,
Like,
and
for reference.
yeah, no, it's like literally, I evened out my farmer's tan, which was ultimately the goal of the beach vacation.
You did it beautifully.
This is the first time I traveled internationally in a very long time.
I love that.
LA feels international
It's because it's such a melting pot.
in that, yeah, it's like, you know, in that way that like anywhere that's it's so not Texas here.
Yes.
And
that is very true.
So it's foreign, even though it's still.
Yeah. And it's like we had Japanese food.
We did.
We're getting Korean food today. We went to Lowry's for prime rib last night.
Which I will say, you know, it's such an old school experience, but like really, I wanted to go to Mother Wolf.
Yeah.
And like ultimately the reason I wanted to go to Mother Wolf was because I wanted to hang out under a chandelier.
Yes.
And we got to do that.
Oh, and we got the burrata. So
we did go to Burrata House too. So we've had Italian, we've had Japanese,
we've had Korean, we've had
I feel like Lowry's though.
It's like UK.
I was gonna say because they do the Yorkshire pudding.
And they have a trifle on the dessert menu.
I almost got the trifle.
I've heard good things. I don't get it because it's full of booze, but like, you should get it.
Well, we should have talked about it more, but creme brulee, the creme brulee was excellent.
I mean, and I have a hard time saying no to creme brulee when it's on the menu because I'm lactose intolerant and hate myself.
But cracking it with the back of your spoon.
Oh my god, yes, it's so satisfying. So yeah, I feel like it's been so nice to have you in LA, and it's the end of my vacation as well. But luckily, I'm taking 2 days off at the end of next week, in addition to my weekend before I start my new job.
I think that's so important because it's like, while I've been visiting, it's not really been like, I mean, not to say that I'm so needy because I like to think I'm a good house guest.
You are a great house guest.
But
it's not like a relaxation vacation. It's
not a relaxation vacation.
It's hanging out, which is great.
Because I'm coming off the relaxation vacation.
Yeah.
Because I literally have just been on a rooftop in Mexico for a week before this.
Which is great.
And it's soaked into my bones. And I really feel so much less tense.
Yeah. I can't wait to have like 2 days off next week. I just bought a shit ton of cedar mulch and soil. I'm going to be working on my little garden, my veggie garden area that Nick has now seen. That stuff is finally starting to die.
Not just seen. You've
eaten
multiple tomatoes.
Yeah.
Off of your cherry tomato plant.
The cherry tomatoes are so dope. But yeah,
tastes like sunshine.
Stuff's finally starting to die off from the summer, but my pumpkins are flowering. So I'm gonna like probably spend next week like gardening and listening to podcasts while I relax for 2 days before I start a new job, which would be so much fun. But guys, I can't wait to like show you all my office space once I get it like witchy set up. And I'll definitely post updates on the Hoya flowers because I'm so excited one of my Hoyas is flowering. It takes so long.
And if you want to see pics of my trip, you missed it because they were all on my Instagram story.
Yeah, so you guys can always follow along at Wands and Fronds Pod on Instagram. You can email us, wandsandfrondspod@gmail.com. rate, review, subscribe. You all know the drill. You know how to do this. You know how to be podcast fans. We love you all. So,
Well, I guess to all you patio witches out there,
patio witches for life, but blessed be patio witches.
blessed be patio bitches.
Goodbye.